Do you remember back in the early 90s, Visa had that big commercial campaign, Visa, it's everywhere you want to be? Well, I would like to say that I think voiceover ranks right up there. It is everywhere you want to be, and I'm constantly reminded of that, and I'm going to share more about that this morning. Welcome to the Voiceover Huddle. My name is Bill DeWeese. I am a professional voiceover talent, a voiceover coach, a voiceover demo producer, and I'm so glad you stopped by. We do this every weekday morning. We get together right around 8:15 Eastern time to share a thought, a strategy, a tips, something motivational, something to help you move toward greater profitability, to help you make more money in your voiceover business. Or if you haven't started voiceover, maybe you're just, dipping your toe in the pool, so to speak, trying to get a sense of what's going on. This is a great place to start, and you are among friends here. By the way, speaking of which, friends, thank you for being here. If you take a moment just to let me know who you are, your name, and where you're listening from this morning, we'll do a little roll call here in just a bit. Well, when I first got started in voiceover, back in the olden days, about 17 years ago, um, I was thinking about, the idea of it being mobile was on my mind, but it wasn't a key consideration at that time because we had no intention of moving. And frankly, when I'm not working, like when I go on vacation, working is not. I'm not that interested. I mean, I love voiceover, but when I go to play, I want to play. So having to be concerned about clients and projects is not usually my top priority. So usually I don't take it along with me. But sometimes life changes. And a couple of years ago, and I think I've mentioned this before, my mother-in-law's health was deteriorating, and we needed to move out of state to be closer to her. And by the way, she's doing better now, which is pretty cool. We're very excited about and grateful for that. But we were able to move to be closer to her, and it was an easy transition. In other words, I didn't have a building that I had to report to, a person in a building that I had to be there to report to. I didn't have to operate out of or even a hybrid situation where I work some at home and some from an office. I was able to easily pick up as long as you've got an internet connection, you can go pretty much anywhere. So that went completely uninterrupted. And as I talked about yesterday, last week, we went on a vacation with some friends, and I knew there were some things coming up that I didn't want to miss, voiceover wise. So I took my stuff with me. And while I didn't work the entire time, I was able to set up a makeshift studio easily that produced good, high quality sound because, the technology is advancing so quickly. Not only the equipment, but just the software and noise reduction. And, with a few acoustic blankets, and you could use moving blankets, you could use bed covers, there's a number of materials you can use. But I was able to set up on a card table a makeshift recording studio. And I was able to do the work that I needed to do. And as I mentioned yesterday, I think I mentioned this, so forgive me if I'm repeating it, but it bears repeating. And that is on the way back home, we stopped at a hotel halfway and some jobs had come in that needed immediate attention. So at midnight, I set up in the hotel room and I knocked out 3 projects for 3 clients. Um, while my wife was trying to sleep in bed. And it's simply because the technology exists to allow me to do that. And voiceover is a very mobile business. So if you're looking for something, a career or another way to make money that doesn't tie you to a location. And I know that employers are becoming more flexible on that, but oftentimes it's a hybrid situation. But with voiceover, I mean, literally, there are no ties to you to keep you in any particular place. And the technology is such that you can work from pretty much anywhere and you can pick up and go. Just pick up and go and take your stuff with you. I mean, my stuff that I take with me is like in a little case. It doesn't even require much space or room. It's easy to do. And so whether, you're young and you're looking for a career that allows you flexibility, or perhaps you're moving into retirement and you want to travel, but you want to be able to generate income, voiceover is just such a great way to do it. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity I've had these past 17 years to be able to not only record voiceovers, but just to have the flexibility to do it anywhere I want because it's everywhere you want to be. And as I look forward to the years to come, I hope to record voiceovers for quite a while to come. And to know that I can take it with me anywhere, anytime, any place while I'm visiting with anybody, doing anything. That is just a pretty cool thing to be able to do. And I think the technology is only going to get better. I know it will be as time goes by. The advancements are going to make it easier and easier and easier to do this. So you're in a good place. And if you're thinking about voiceover, I want to encourage you to move forward, get things rolling. There is no time like the present to get started. And while I'm talking about that, a quick mention that tonight is my next live training event. In case you weren't aware of that, I've put a link in the description below. It's home studio recording secrets. It's what you need to know to be able to record high quality audio from home and on the road. As a matter of fact, toward the end of tonight's presentation, I'm going to share some pictures and show how my mobile rig is set up. But it's a 90-minute class, but there's some bonuses that go with that, including a tour of my studio in which I'm going to share all of my software, my hardware, and all of my software settings, my plugin settings. So you can use those as a reference and get that information. So if you're needing high quality audio, and we all need it, the question is, do you have it? And if you don't, please know that it is the number one consideration of clients when hiring voiceover talent. So, and if you're not 100% sure you're there, go into the description below, get signed up. The class begins tonight at 8 p.m., well, 11 and a half hours from now, Eastern time. Thanks for checking in this morning. Let's see who we've got on the stream. Hey, we've got Dave in NYC. Good morning to you. Hey, Dan. Dan is one of the newer members of the VoiceOver Blueprint. Dan, thrilled to have you in the Blueprint. And good morning to you in Clarkston, Michigan, I should say. The VoiceOver Blueprint, by the way, it's my VoiceOver University. It's very briefly, it's a 3-part program where you have access to a complete library of training, video on demand, but also you have access to daily live coaching sessions that cover everything from performance to marketing to the business to Q&A to how to do Fiverr, all of that stuff. We do between 25 and 28 of those live training sessions every month. In addition to that, we put you in our private Facebook group where you can watch me work during the day. So as I stream into that group in Facebook so they can watch as I record auditions, record with client. Like yesterday, I did a live session with a client for a political ad. Before that, I had an industrial project for a client in Denmark, and my students were able to watch the entire process, which is who allows you into their studio to watch them work? So this is I think it's a uniquely special program that's going to give you everything you need to be successful. And the VoiceOver Blueprint, I've got links in like all of my videos, so you can easily find it. If not, just drop me an email at training@billdeweese.com. Mark, what's going on in Wilmington, North Carolina? Hey, Rob. Good morning from lovely Loveland. Hard to work in the booth today. I know, right? Here in the Cincinnati area, it's going to be 81 degrees, and it's a beautiful morning. But not to be outdone by Whitehall, Wisconsin, where it's also bright and sunny. Hey, Corey, how are you doing? Theo, good morning. Coming at you today from the squeaky, creaking, decades-old caboose of the train headed into Chicago. I love your way with words, Theo. Hey, Mark in Albuquerque, what's happening? Oh, well, Bill, you look great, well-rested. Well, thank you very much. I got to be honest with you. My wife is a little jealous of me right now. Let me tell you why. Because while we were in Hilton Head, when she went to the beach, I worked. That's when I did my work. So she went out to the beach and spent time in the sun, trying to work on her tan. Whereas I literally stepped outside on the back porch, sat in the sun for like 10 minutes. That was my exposure to we did a lot of stuff, but it wasn't like, it was usually going from restaurant to restaurant, to be honest with you. So I sat out in the sun for about 10 minutes. And I got about 3 shades of, darker from that. And she's just, whereas the light just reflects off her pale skin. So she's a little jealous of me. Hey, Wade, how are you doing? Good morning. Hey, Wally, blueprinting from Annapolis, Maryland. Wally, and I'm so glad you're blueprinting. I love it. Neil in Fairfield. Good morning. Steve in Oshkosh, who also agrees that Theo has a way with the words. Damon, hey, how are you doing? I'm pleased to share I've received 2 offers for audiobooks last week. Now to figure out why my microphone seems to cut out at random. Well, First of all, Damon, congratulations. I'm ringing the bell for you there for those 2 new jobs, and I wish you all the best in working out those tech details. Let's see here. MG, good morning to you in North Carolina. Janet in Florida, hello. Monica, how are you in Poland today? Guy, good morning to you in St. Louis. Stephen, good morning from Barrie, Ontario. Melissa, good morning to you in San Diego. Bruce in Louisville. Greg in Orlando. Another Greg in Nashville, North Carolina. Wayne in Puget Sound. Kim in Kingston, Ontario, Canada. Carolyn, sunny greetings to you in Italy. Tess, good morning, y'all, from Tequila, Georgia. And Michelle in Indianapolis. Ty in Warsaw, Indiana. Rusty in the UP of Michigan. Sherry in New York will be joining the home recording class tonight. I'm so glad you signed up, Sherry. Looking forward to tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of good information for you. Hey, Julie, how are you doing in San Antonio? Bob, what's going on in Reidsville, North Carolina? Sandra in Westerville, in the middle of moving, but won't miss Bill in the morning. Well, Sandra, thanks for taking time out for this. I appreciate that. Excuse me. I know I've said this before, but Westerville, 2 of my 3 kids were born in Westerville. So it holds a very special place in my heart. Carlin says, Theo on the train always makes me think of the Netflix series, Snowpiercer. Absolutely. Hey, Meryl, good morning to you in northern New Jersey. Which mic do you travel with? I travel with this mic right here, the Neumann TLM 103. Same, as a matter of fact, I have 2 of them. And I like to have redundancies of everything. So since this is what I rely on for my income, if something goes down, I've got a backup computer, I've got a backup microphone, I've got backups of everything. I even have 2 audio interfaces that I use. That's another discussion, but it's this microphone, the Neumann TLM 103. Believe it or not. Hey, Denise, how are you in Long Island? Oh, good morning, Toledo. Jay, hey, it was a great vacay. Thank you. Jason, the stream moved on me. Let me back up here a bit. I'm not moving fast enough, apparently, for it. Excuse me. Jason in Mobile, Alabama. Good morning. Charlene in Salt Lake City. David, good morning to you from Canal, Winchester. Yeah, my travel kit, it's my microphone, the cable, my interface, which is a Universal Audio Apollo Twin, the same thing that I use here in my studio, and the same headphones. It's basically the same thing, except I just take some acoustic blankets with me and make a tent, or use cushions where, depending on what I have access to. So it's the same thing, which, yeah, obviously the space makes it sound a little different. I have to EQ it to make it sound a little more like the original, but it works out very well. Scotty in Brookings, South Carolina, or Brookings, South Dakota, rather. Sorry. John in Rhinebeck, New York. Emmer from Denmark, trying to start my voiceover journey. Emmer, you're in the right place. Good morning, or good afternoon, I should say. Barb in Ann Arbor. Donald in Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania. Wayne in Cincinnati. Alex in Orange County. Just got confirmation that I'll be cast in another short. Alex, congrats on your casting. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Give me more reasons, everybody, to ring my bell. Liz, good morning to you in northern, in northern Illinois. Let's see here. Jorge, how are you doing? Watching from Portugal, near Porto Wine. What's your greatest challenge for a VO job? Thank you. Well, the greatest challenge in a job is getting the job. That's where, the jobs themselves tend to be pretty easy. It's what we do. We sit behind a microphone and we talk. And so that's the fun part. The work is getting the job. So, having your marketing plan and knowing how to market and doing that consistently, that's the real work of voiceover, in my opinion. Just got picked up as the VO for a local university. Oh, congratulations on that one. Awesome. Break time with Bill is what my wife calls it. Hello. Oh, Iran's represented in the house this morning. I love it. Good morning. Imelda, how are you in Nigeria? Landed my first VO job. It was great. There we go, ringing the bell for you, Imelda. That's fantastic. Thomas, good morning to you in Tacoma. And Wayne, how are you doing this morning? Okay, well, guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And I hope to see you at tonight's live training event. Home studio recording secrets. Let's get your audio in tip top shape, which is going to make you more competitive. It's going to get you more work, which is going to make you more money. And voiceover link is below in the description. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.